I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my theory tuition series where I'm working with you step by step through the ABRSM theory grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets and you can download those in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. There's a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find out about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and techniques on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time on exam day when you're working through your exam paper. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really fab, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more in store. And now we're going to continue with the third paper, so that's paper C of the Grade 1 2014 past paper booklet. So if you turn with me to page 11, we can have a go at this. These papers from previous years are an excellent revision resource. They're the best way to just keep testing yourself and getting yourself prepared for the exam after you've done all the work in your music theory and practice workbook. And so now I hope that you've had a go of this on your own. First of all, it doesn't matter if you go wrong, you can just rub it out. Make sure you're always writing in pencil, then it doesn't matter if you go wrong. And so now we'll check these answers through together. So question 5 just simply asks us to give the letter name of each of the notes marked with a little star. They've given you an extra clue here telling you to include the flat sign where necessary. Don't forget we've got a key signature of B flat that will be active on any note B. They've given us the first note to start us off. So if you're not sure about the bass clef, you can even just always work it out counting up from here. However, if you remember, the bass clef spaces are all cows eat grass, and we can work out from that point to anything that's outside of that. Or you can think the lines are good boys deserve football always. So all cows, there's our C. All cows eat, we've got an E. Notice I'm always writing in capital letters. It's the accepted norm to write in capital letters when you're naming notes. So here we are, lines. Good boys deserve football always. There's an A. So if this is an A, next door up one from that is a B. However, if you remember, that's not the full story yet because we've got a key signature of B flat. So to be properly accurate, that's a B flat because of the key signature. And if that's a B flat, one up from B flat is C. From A to B to C, we're counting up, that's our middle C. Now we're back into the little rhyme that helps us to name the notes. All cows eat grass. And we can see it's one step down from the A, so we can work it out there. So here, good boys deserve football. There's an F. Good boys deserve, and all cows. And if you weren't sure, they've actually even given you that one. So there you've got a mark for free because they've already told you that one. So now we're just asked to do a little bit of observation. How many bars contain only quavers? So nothing else but quavers or eighth notes. So we've got one here, not there, and one here. So yes, there are quavers here, but they're not only quavers. We've got this, so that bar doesn't count. So we've only got 2 bars that are made up of only quavers or eighth notes. There we go. Let's turn over the page. Let's continue with question 6. So we're asked to name the key of each of these tonic triads. Each one will be a major key. Now there's a couple of clues that will help us. The first clue is we know that G major has a key signature of F sharp, so that will tell us straight away. So you just need to be sure that you've revised your key signatures to know that. However, if you weren't sure, you got a bit confused, remember this is a tonic triad, so the tonic note at the bottom of the tonic triad must be our key note. Tonic is another way of saying tone key, which is like your key note, your home note. So the first note at the bottom of the triad must be your tonic. So we know that the bass clef is good boys deserve football always, so that's a G, good. So actually that bottom note tells us that we're in G major. So we've got 2 clues there. So in the first case, we know that B flat is the key signature for F major. But if you weren't terribly sure, you could double check that, because you know it goes good boys deserve football. There's our tonic F. So we know that we're definitely in F major. So the key signature for F sharps and C sharps is relating us to D major. So D major has F sharps and C sharps. However, we can double check that that's correct. Good boys deserve, there's our D. So we know that we're in D major. We've already answered this really. We know that B flat is the key signature for F major, and then we're in the treble clef here, and we know that the spaces in the treble clef spell face, F-A-C-E, so there's our F, there's our tonic at the bottom telling us we're in F major. So the scale that has no sharps or flats is C major, and there's our middle C at the base as the tonic. So that tells us for sure that we're in C major. And then here, they've already given us this one, a key signature with 1 sharp is G major, and then we can double check. Every good boy deserves football, every good, there's G, but they've actually given us that one, if you can just see it. So we're in G major. There we go. Let's have a look at the next one. So we're asked to add the correct clef to make each of these named notes below correct. So then we know that the treble clef spaces are F-A-C-E, so that must be the treble clef. Now here, this is going to come a little bit outside of the usual little rhymes that you might use to help you. However, you know that in bass clef, middle C is here, and 1 step down from C is B. Alternatively, we know that in the bass clef, the lines are good boys deserve football always, and 1 up from A is B. So that's a couple of ways of figuring out that we're in the bass clef. We know that that can't be treble clef because we've been told that it's treble clef C, and therefore it must be bass clef, and the bass clef spaces all cows eat grass, A-C-E, so we know that's bass clef. So we know that the lines in the treble clef are every good boy deserves football. If that was the bass clef, we'd have the wrong letter name because the bass clef are good boys deserve football always. That would be an A, so we know that's not bass clef, it's got to be treble. Now we know that the spaces in the treble clef spell face, F-A-C-E. So that has to be the treble clef. Now here we know that the bass clef is good boys deserve football, so that must be bass clef. If that was the treble clef, that would be every good, that would be a G. So that can't be the case, it's bass clef B. Of course it's B flat, but the note position is the same. Now actually we've been given this one already. We've been told that this third space up is treble clef C, and so the fact that the sharp doesn't change that. For that to be C sharp, it must still be treble clef C, which has been sharpened. And to confirm that, we know that the treble clef spaces spell face, F-A-C-E, so that has to be treble, but really they've given us that answer already. So for this to be middle C, this has to be bass clef because remember, middle C is in the middle, it's at the top of the bass, the bottom of the treble kind of meets in the middle, and so that must be bass clef. Now here, if middle C is at the bottom of the treble, as we've just said, top of the bass, bottom of the treble, if that's C, 1 up from C is D. Alternatively, you can think the treble clef, every good boy. So if E is there, 1 below E is D, so that must be treble. So here then, now we know that this, we've already worked out that this is, the top line is F in the treble clef. We know that the beta clef is good boys deserve football, F sharp, so that must be bass clef. And then here we've already worked out that the top line is F in the treble clef. Every good boy deserves football, F. One above F is G, so that must be treble clef. And there we go, that's the end of that question. We'll have a look at the last question in the next video. I do hope this is helping you with your studies. I hope it's helping to prepare you ready for exam entry time. If you can give me a like, that would be really fab, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more in the pipeline. Please do visit sharonbill.com and make use of all of the resource and information that's available to help you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.